Title: The Haunting at Crescent Manor. Chapter 1, Moving to Crescent Manor. Crescent Manor, an elegant Victorian mansion that stood tall at the edge of town, had always been a place of intrigue and mystery. When the Johnson family moved in, they were drawn to the house's unique charm and its affordable price. Little did they know that their dream home would soon become the setting for a spine-chilling true crime story. The Johnsons, Michael, Sarah, and their teenage daughter, Emily, settled into Crescent Manor with excitement and enthusiasm. The previous owners had left behind a few peculiar trinkets and warned them of strange occurrences, but the Johnsons brushed it off as mere superstitions. Chapter 2, Unexplained Phenomena. As days turned into weeks, the Johnsons began experiencing strange phenomena within the house. Objects moved on their own, eerie sounds echoed through the halls at night, and cold drafts sent shivers down their spines. Emily, curious and fearless, decided to investigate further. She dug into Crescent Manor's history, discovering unsettling tales of a tragic event that had occurred decades ago. A young woman named Isabella, engaged to the owner of the house, mysteriously disappeared on the eve of their wedding. Some believed she had run away, while others whispered of a more sinister fate. Chapter 3, The Old Journal. While rummaging through the attic, Emily stumbled upon an old leather-bound journal belonging to Isabella. Its pages held the secrets of the past, detailing her forbidden affair with a stable hand named Thomas. Their love had been passionate and pure, but societal norms and family pressure tore them apart. The journal hinted at a hidden room in the mansion where Isabella and Thomas had planned to escape together. Emily's fascination with the story grew, and she began experiencing vivid dreams, seemingly transported to another time and place, witnessing the tragic events unfold before her eyes. Chapter 4, Haunting Visions. Emily's dreams intensified, and she could no longer discern reality from the haunting visions. She saw Isabella and Thomas's secret rendezvous, their love thwarted by her family's cruelty. The young couple's desperate plan to escape was foiled, and Isabella was locked away in the hidden room. As Emily became consumed by her connection to the past, her behavior changed. She withdrew from her family, spending hours in the attic, deciphering the journal's cryptic entries. Michael and Sarah grew concerned about their daughter's mental state, not fully comprehending the inexplicable forces at play. Chapter 5, A Mother's Fear. Sarah, desperate to save her daughter from the mansion's grip, sought help from a local historian, Mr. Jenkins. He was well versed in the town's history and the legends surrounding Crescent Manor. Intrigued by Emily's visions, he agreed to visit the house to investigate the claims of supernatural activity. As Mr. Jenkins delved into the history of Crescent Manor, he discovered chilling accounts of other families who had lived there and faced similar eerie occurrences. He learned of a pattern: the disappearance of teenage girls, each connected to the house in some way. Chapter 6, The Search for Answers. With mounting concern, Mr. Jenkins embarked on a quest to find the truth behind the haunting. He visited archives, libraries, and the town's elderly residents, hoping to piece together the puzzle that seemed to span generations. He uncovered forgotten documents and aged testimonies, a dark pattern of tragic events involving young women throughout the decades. Some stories ended in disappearances, while others in untimely deaths. Chapter 7, Unraveling the Past. Mr. Jenkins discovered a common thread connecting the victims. They were all descendants of the influential family that owned Crescent Manor during Isabella's time. It appeared as though the mansion held a dark grudge against the descendants of those who had wronged Isabella and Thomas. He also learned of a hidden chamber in the mansion, a place where Isabella had been confined against her will. Local legends spoke of a vengeful spirit that guarded the chamber, seeking retribution for Isabella's tragic fate. Chapter 8, The Spirit's Release. Armed with newfound knowledge, Mr. Jenkins shared his findings with the Johnsons, hoping to free Emily from the clutches of the mansion's malevolent force. Together, they devised a plan to appease the spirit and release Isabella's tormented soul. In a tense and emotional séance, they communicated with the spirit, seeking forgiveness and closure. The room grew cold, and the atmosphere thickened as they pleaded for Isabella's spirit to find peace. In a final heart-wrenching moment, Emily, as if possessed by Isabella herself, spoke of her undying love for Thomas and her desire to be free. As her words echoed through the room, a sudden gust of wind swept through, extinguishing all the candles. Chapter 9, Closure and Moving On. When the candles relit, a sense of calm enveloped the room. The spirit had finally found solace and departed, leaving the mansion still and serene. The Johnsons decided to leave Crescent Manor behind, grateful for the experiences that had brought their family closer together. They believed that their presence had brought peace to Isabella's restless spirit, but they couldn't deny the inexplicable bond Emily had formed with the tragic past. Crescent Manor's reputation as a haunted house lived on, but the Johnsons left with a newfound understanding of the past and the importance of family bonds. They moved to a new town, where Emily's dreams gradually subsided, but she could never forget the haunting at Crescent Manor. Chapter 10, The Legacy continues. Years later, as an old woman, Emily returned to Crescent Manor one last time. The mansion had been converted into a museum, and visitors from all over came to hear the chilling tale of Isabella's tragic fate. As Emily stood before the portrait of Isabella and Thomas, a gentle breeze rustled through the room. She closed her eyes and felt a whisper in the wind, a reassurance that Isabella's spirit had found eternal peace, forever woven into the history of Crescent Manor. The legend of Crescent Manor lived on, captivating the hearts and minds of those who visited the museum. Many claimed to have seen Isabella's ghost, wandering the halls, and some even reported feeling her presence through chilling drafts and unexplained occurrences. Chapter 11, The Forgotten Journal. In the years following their departure, the Johnsons' attic became the new home for the Forgotten Journal. Emily never forgot the connection she had felt with Isabella and Thomas and continued to cherish the memories of their tragic love story. One day, as the Johnsons prepared to move again, Emily discovered something peculiar in the attic, another journal, tucked away in a hidden corner. It was Thomas's journal, filled with his own heartfelt words and the pain he endured after losing Isabella. The discovery opened a new chapter in the story of Crescent Manor, shedding light on the haunting from Thomas's perspective. Emily knew that the story of Isabella and Thomas must be shared with the world, to ensure their love and sacrifice would never be forgotten. Chapter 12, Unraveling Thomas's Story. Emily pored over Thomas's journal, absorbing every word he had written. It revealed the depths of his love for Isabella and the pain he experienced when they were torn apart. He spoke of his longing to escape with Isabella, away from the confines of Crescent Manor and the suffocating expectations of society. As she read, Emily couldn't help but feel a connection to Thomas, much like the one she had with Isabella. It was as if their spirits were guiding her to uncover the truth behind their tragic tale. Chapter 13, The Missing Pieces. Thomas's journal mentioned a letter he had written to Isabella, expressing his undying love and his hopes for their future together. However, the letter had never reached Isabella, and Thomas believed it was intercepted by someone in the household. This revelation sparked a new mystery for Emily to solve. Who had intercepted the letter, and what were their motivations? Emily delved deeper into the history of Crescent Manor, trying to identify potential culprits. Chapter 14, Family Secrets Revealed. Through her research, Emily discovered that Isabella's family was deeply entwined with a rival family, the Harringtons. The Harringtons were known for their manipulative ways and fierce desire to maintain their reputation and status in the town. It became evident that the Harringtons had played a significant role in keeping Isabella and Thomas apart, ensuring she married the man of their choosing, a man with whom their family would merge fortunes. Chapter 15, Uncovering the Truth. Driven by determination, Emily set out to confront the Harringtons, who were still prominent members of the town's elite. She suspected that the answers to the mysteries lay within their family archives, hidden away for generations. As Emily approached the Harrington estate, a sense of unease washed over her. The mansion, though grand and opulent, held a dark aura, and the eyes of the Harringtons seemed to follow her every move. Chapter 16, Confronting the Past. Emily's confrontation with the Harringtons was met with resistance and denial. They dismissed her claims of Isabella's journal and Thomas's letter, insisting it was all part of the Johnsons' imagination. However, as Emily pressed on, sharing the haunting visions she had experienced, the Harringtons' facade began to crumble. A member of the family, an elderly great-grandmother, revealed the hidden truth behind the tragic events of the past. Chapter 17, The Final Revelation. In a private conversation with Emily, the great-grandmother confessed to having intercepted Thomas's letter to Isabella all those years ago. She revealed the lengths the Harringtons had gone to protect their family's reputation, even if it meant destroying the happiness of a young couple deeply in love. Tears streamed down the great-grandmother's face as she expressed remorse for her actions and the pain she had caused Isabella and Thomas. She confessed that the guilt had haunted her throughout her life, and she had lived in fear of retribution from Isabella's spirit. Chapter 18, Forgiveness and Closure. Moved by the great-grandmother's confession, Emily felt a surge of compassion. She realized that the haunting of Crescent Manor was not only about seeking justice for Isabella and Thomas but also about finding forgiveness and closure for those who had played a role in their tragedy. In an emotional moment, Emily assured the great-grandmother that Isabella's spirit had found peace and harbored no ill will towards her or her family. The truth had been revealed, and it was time for healing and moving forward. Chapter 19, A Tale of Redemption. With the truth now known, the Johnsons and the Harringtons embarked on a joint effort to honor the memory of Isabella and Thomas. Together, they established a scholarship fund for young artists in the town, symbolizing the love and passion that had been stifled by the tragic events of the past. The haunting at Crescent Manor transformed from a tale of horror to one of redemption and reconciliation. Visitors to the museum and the town now heard a story of love and forgiveness that had endured through generations. Epilogue, A Legacy of Love. As the years passed, the story of Crescent Manor and the tragic love of Isabella and Thomas continued to touch the hearts of many. The scholarship fund thrived, providing opportunities for aspiring artists to follow their passions, just as Isabella and Thomas had desired. Emily's book, chronicling the complete tale of Crescent Manor, became a literary sensation, drawing readers from around the world to learn of the haunting and the power of love beyond the grave. And in the halls of Crescent Manor, the whispers of Isabella and Thomas could still be felt. Their spirits, no longer restless, were now a part of the legacy of the grand mansion, forever intertwined with the history of the town and the hearts of those who sought to understand the haunting love that had transcended time.